Hello, welcome back to the channel. What seems like ages ago, I was talking about planting out a lot of the stuff that's here on the potting bench, and well, it's kind of time to start doing that. Some of this stuff actually has to get repotted into bigger pots because it's not quite ready to go out. For instance, this pampas grass, I can put it out now, but I don't want to because I'm not exactly sure where I want to put it. So I'm going to wind up potting it at a later date into a bigger pot. And then I'll probably plant it out next spring once I figure out where I'm going to put these. Again, not quite sure. I was thinking about maybe one at the back of the garden here. There's probably space up front someplace by the mound for another one or two. Again, I'm not entirely sure. So, what I am sure about is where some of this other stuff is going. I have sprinter boxwoods that need to get planted out. I have a privet, golden ticket privet or two. I have Japanese holly that needs to get planted out. I'm going to plant that out. There's plants that I picked up recently at my local garden center that I'm going to be planting out today. And there's probably a few other things here on this bench. So let's get out into the garden and I'll show you where everything's going. Okay, so the very first plant I'm going to plant today is the spearmint heuchera. Now, heucheras like shady spots, so I'm going to be planting this in the bed that's next to the house, between the house and the driveway. You know which one I'm talking about. If you don't, you can always go over to growinggreenfinger.com. Check out under the garden. I have a map of where everything is located in the garden and the different areas of the garden. But let's get this heuchera spearmint stuck in the ground. The heck? Oh, okay, cool. Let's get it settled in there. Actually, I want you a little higher. There we go. I need some more compost. Okay. Alright. So there it is, next to the oak leaf hydrangea, which should provide it some nice shade. Sort of on the edge of the bed, and I'm okay with that because heucheras don't necessarily get too tall, also known as coral bells. And right next to it are some cardinal flowers. On to the next one. This is one of the front beds, and there's a blank spot over here, so I'm going to plant one of the echinaceas that I picked up recently from my local garden center for like $5. Now, if I plant it now, I'm fairly confident it's going to get a good rooting before we get any sort of cold and inclement weather. So let's get to planting. I think right about here will be good. Now, apparently there were some lupine here, and I don't know if they've just died back for the season and they'll regrow. But either way, I do have a nice gap between what was, like this calendula, foxglove, and again, if those lupines come back next spring, all the better. There's a gaura right here, and there's a dahlia right here. I'm just going to pull back the mulch, dig out some of the soil. Oh, there's an earthworm. That's always a good sign. Should be good. There's a couple of earthworms. That's even better. And we're just going to pop this out. This is sombrero blanco, so it should be a white echinacea when it finally blossoms, blooms. I think it's good height. Gonna get this pulled back in, buried it nicely. I need a little more compost. Pull the mulch back. All right, that one's done. I am gonna have to throw a label on that though. Oh, temporarily, we're just gonna use the original pot label until I can make up something prettier. That's 2 down. Let's move off to the next 2. So here we are at the end of the driveway, and I currently have a sprinter boxwood here at the corner, but all along the front over here I want to have a hedge, at least in my head, of golden ticket privet. Now, it grows beautifully over in the rose garden, but I've never grown it really outside the rose garden, and I have this large cutting, which is now getting to be like a small shrub, that I'm going to plant next to the sprinter. And it's an experiment. How will it handle shade? How will it handle this location? And if it handles it well, then perhaps I will then continue with my dream and have the golden ticket go all the way down across the front of the property. This is the theory, but first we must test the theory by planting a test subject. So this guinea pig will get planted right here at the end of the driveway next to the Sprinter boxwood. Let's get planting. Nice roots. All right, and I think that's going to be okay. Maybe a little higher. Yeah, I think that'll be good. There we go. Pull the mulch back. In case you're wondering what some of this grassy stuff is, these are hyacinth that are coming up again in the fall. Pretty cool. I don't know if they'll flower, but they're pushing up. All right, that one's done. On to the next. This is the gap between the front of the driveway bed and the back of the driveway bed. And I'm going to put another Sprinter boxwood over here because I have one opposite. And eventually I want an entire hedge line of boxwoods going down, framing in the flower garden. So what we're going to do is we're going to clear away some of this mulch, pop this guy out. I think I want him a little higher. Yeah, I think that might be okay. There we go. It's nice and tucked in. Pull the mulch back. And there's one more Sprinter boxwood to plant. Now, I just ran into an incredible deal online where I found 4-inch pots of Sprinter boxwoods for $12.99. They normally retail for about $20. So I got 12 of them, and they too shall be going along here to help form that hedge. And of course I'm taking cuttings, but those cuttings take a little time to grow. So anytime I can stumble across a deal, $12.99 for a Sprinter boxwood, a little 4-inch like I just planted, that's a steal. So I'll continue to get those. I'll add in some of the ones that I've done from cuttings. And hopefully in 5 years or so, we have the beginnings of what looks like a nice, beautiful hedge. We shall see. Let's get planting the next one. This is the entrance to the grand walkway. And just a few seconds ago, before I came on camera here, I got bit by a fire ant. I had taken my glove off to tie something up and got me. But that's irregardless. That's nothing to do with what I'm doing here now. No, here I'm going to plant a Sprinter boxwood, much as I have on that corner over there, on this corner here. So let me get to it. First, put the glove back on. This one's got a lot of roots. Tease them, break them up a bit. Nice and tucked in. All right, cover back up with mulch. And just one more to go. All the way out there someplace. So let's get to it. Okay, here we are at the very end of the orchard. And I've been building a line of shrubbery. And I have various shrubs here, such as weigelas and hollies, and I have a pine tree, and I have, oh, down that way I have Thulias. Yeah, green giant Thulias, however you pronounce that. Anyways, so I have 4 of these Japanese hollies, which I have grown from cuttings. And this one is one of the larger ones. And I'm going to plant this in this hole here. Should get to about 6 foot by 6 foot, theoretically. And I'm going to let it just go wild. I'm not really going to trim it or have any plans or intentions of keeping it in any sort of formal shape. Sorry, there's bugs in my face. So let me shut up and start dropping this in here. Good set of roots. Like that. Go. Now I'm not too worried about weeds or the grass coming up. I really just put down the mulch to help retain water for the rest of the season. But I'm hopeful that this does well here. And again, helps fill in this space. We'll find out. So there we go. We got 6 plants planted today. Whew, I think what, 4 out of the 6 were shrubs. And I still have to water in a majority of them. I got some of them watered in. I have to water in the rest, which I'll do after this video, so as not to bore you guys. And as you can see, I still have a lot more to plant out. Some of it is not ready to go yet. As I said, I want the pampas grass to get a little bigger. Probably plant that out next spring. The rose bushes are going to go into the rose garden this fall. Well, we're into fall now, but probably in the next month or so. With the lower temperatures coming, I'll be getting more into the rose garden again. I have to finish up that section that I wanted to finish up this year. I have a lot of other cuttings which are just still a little too small to plant out yet, and some of them are a little too small to up pot, but we'll see how the season goes. And then I have other brand new cuttings which I've taken, which are still waiting to root and do their thing. So, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Click that bell icon to be notified when I do post up a new video. This way you can follow along with my gardening antics. So if you're here, it says be sure to check out all the links below. Don't forget the YouTube community tab. You'll find that over at the YouTube homepage. I try to post up pictures and comments and posts and what's the word I'm looking for? What do you call those things where you voting things, polls? Yeah, that kind of thing. Sorry. Yeah, it is cooler out. It's only about 80 today, but the heat's still cooking what's left of my brain here. So, anything else, Sophie? No, can't think of anything else. Again, be sure to check out all those links below, and I'm going to catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.